Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us. This is Carrie. I'm coming to you from Curt Chinnici's house as well as Tony Bianchi.
Very good.
And I am so excited to share their incredible collection with you all. If you enjoy this program, please attend our other virtual programs. You can find them all listed on our website. And if you want to support the emerging scholars as well as scholarship surrounding the decorative arts, consider donating to the trust. And without further ado, we're going to start off with Curt. And here he is sitting in his lovely living room.
I'm Curt Chinnici, and my husband is Troy Bianchi. He's right over on the other side of the room here. And this is our house in Fishtown, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it is traditionally a working class neighborhood. It was a lot of Irish and English, and it's been that way for like 300 years. But this house is 1865. And I bought it like 25 years ago in the mid 90s, and it was dirt cheap because nobody wanted to live here then. I didn't know that nobody wanted to live here then until I moved here. And then I realized, oh, this isn't a great area, but it's so close to the river and it's really close to the highways that take you to New Jersey and New York. So I thought it was great. But the house was really rough when I moved in. Just, bare plaster walls, a lot of the windows were rotten. So I did a lot of stabilization. It needed all electric and everything. So I did a lot of the work myself because I'm a school teacher. And so I had no money for a long time. And, I had help from different friends and such. So, but I do remember early on when I moved here that my friend Robert Trent and Mac Truax came to visit, and they brought Ron Bourgeot from Northeast Auctions. And he was like, oh my God, I love this house and this neighborhood. It's so charming and fabulous, blah, blah, blah. And Bob's like, what are you talking about? This is horrible here. Like, oh, please, So it was just so funny to have someone come in and be encouraging back then, because it really did help, because otherwise I was like, wow, yeah, what am I doing here? So, but anyway, we spent a lot of time fixing everything up, and Troy's done all the wallpaper, and he's done all this like beautiful had this beautiful fretwork made and stuff like that. And he's done all the draperies in the room. And I don't know if you noticed the, is this called a lambrequin?
Yeah.
The lambrequin.
Yeah,
Yeah, the little mantle scarf for the lambrequin behind me. So he's done all the soft furnishings.
So did you start collecting when you moved to this property?
When I moved here, people said I was doing the wrong thing because I bought like the chandelier first when I did the room. So yeah, I did start collecting. And the first thing I ever bought was the desk beside me.
Oh.
So this desk I bought in New Orleans from Jeff Whitty, who is since passed on, but a really great dealer in New Orleans who, there were two Butler's desks. I'm like, which one should I buy? He's like, this one's the best one because it's Philadelphia and it's labeled and blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay. So it's got a nice paneled front and cock beading on the drawers, beautiful carved feet, and really gorgeous, really gorgeous Corinthian capitals.
Wow.
So, and then these are all, cut glass knobs that are original.
Wow.
Yeah. And just like all Philadelphia stuff, like the foot on the back is like a blank. So it opens up like this because, the person taking care of the household would have this piece maybe in a dining room or some other formal room, and they could do their work at it. So when you fold it down, you have this baize wool or baize cloth surface that my friend Bob redid for me. We did it one night. And, it's labeled like everywhere. Like 6 of these drawers all have Charles White's label. It's a stencil. And when you research the address there on Walnut Street, you can figure out what years that he was there when you look at city directory. So it was made sometime between 1827 and 1831, because there's the 4 years that he was at that location.
Wow.
So what's kind of cool, I'll be right back, is that at that time period, this very famous cabinet maker, Anthony Carvel, came to Philadelphia and did this really cool sketchbook. And in the sketchbook, there is a sketch of a desk, a butler's desk, very similar to this desk.
Wow.
And this kind of notation means that it's bird's eye maple, and other notations show the different kind of woods that he was planning to use.
Wow.
So the Philadelphia Museum of Art owns the original sketchbook. And it's published in this book by the Boer family, Philadelphia Empire. So a lot of my furnishings are Philadelphia Empire or Philadelphia classical pieces.
What attracted you to that style?
You know what? It was very masculine, very affordable. You know, it was nothing like the Chippendale or Queen Anne things, and just reasonable and a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
So you know, you could find things that were very carved. You could find things that were not as carved or plain. They call it pillar and scroll. So that's why I started collecting. You know, that
Amazing.
period. And it's readily available. I mean, I know things have been going for good prices now, but you can still find things for really good prices because there's so much of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because it was the first furniture that was, you know, they use a lot of industrial techniques to make, so therefore they can make more of it and make it
Yeah.
quickly. So we've got
I'd love to hear about this.
got this little Gothic chair, which is really nice.
Incredible.
That's showing off pretty good.
Yeah, that looks great.
So Mac Truax and Robert Trent used it in a show when they did the exhibition at the Philadelphia Antique Show a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then it's a Rosewood chair. It's made by Crawford Riddell in Philadelphia. And these are all C-scrolls, all put together to make these different shapes, which is pretty cool, between the quatrefoils and the arches. And then Robert Trent did the wool seat, and he did this hand taping all around it.
Wow.
And what's kind of funny, you're like, oh, you know, save a little bit of money. Back of the chair is rosewood, but it's painted.
Huh.
So it's not real rosewood, it's wood.
Yeah.
So this might be like an early laminating piece in that this might be pieced together. I'm not sure what the wood is underneath. No, I don't know. Might be solid.
Wow.
New seat.
Yeah.
Always helps to have a new seat, especially when it's sitting stuff. So that's pretty cool.
And this chair has a twin somewhere?
Oh yeah, they're right. There is a twin. There is a chair like this, identical, in a museum in New York State. But the woman who donated the chair and all the money to the museum put in her request that it has to stay in the Dutch colonial revival style. So it's painted white with little blue windmills and flowers and stuff. So yeah,
Wild.
if you want to see an original one, you got this one here.
Yeah.
The one up there, it's, you know, changed a little bit.
Amazing.
So there was two more things in here, right?
Yeah. Let's hear about the sofa.
Oh, the sofa.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see the little dogs under the sofa.
Yeah, let's get a shot of them.
Sleeping
for
dogs
sure.
are there.
Say hi.
Thank goodness they're quiet. Right, guys? There's Leo and Bo.
Hi, Leo. Hi, Bo. And this amazing sofa. It's incredible.
It's a Philadelphia classical sofa. What's unusual are these bolsters. They're built in. So that's very unusual. Because usually you sometimes see them on Boston ones, but I never see them on Philadelphia ones.
Hmm.
And yeah, they're wood, which is very unusual. So there's
When-
a lot of carving.
Yeah. When did you get this piece?
Robert Trent found it for me.
Wow.
In the 90s, in like 98. And then he did all the work on it. He had his friend Barry Barlow do the sprung seat decking. And then he, in the house here, he did in the back kitchen, he upholstered this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
incredible.
So it helps to have friends who are historic upholsterers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that we are.
And there's a similar one at our Drawson.
Okay.
Robert Montgomery Scott was sitting on one and on the picture of Mainline Today one time. And I was like, that's our sofa. So a friend of mine called over there and Robert Montgomery Scott, everybody calls him, you know, Bobby Scott, answered the phone. He's like, oh, just call me Bobby Scott. He used to be the director of the Philadelphia Museum of Art.
Uh-huh.
So he was kind of a big deal.
Uh-huh.
And he was really nice and didn't know anything about the sofa. He's like, I have so many sofas and pieces of antique furniture. He's like, I have no idea, you know, what it was or where it is or anything. So it was just kind of funny, but we do have a
Yeah.
picture of him on the same sofa. It's pretty funny.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And
We have a little dollhouse here that Troy made. You want to come and talk about the
Wow.
dollhouse or talk about your Melodeon?
The dollhouse is a hobby. I
Wow.
made about 6 of them, but all different styles. That one was built from scratch.
Wow.
So I go around and I take pictures of mansard houses and incorporate the elements into this. But it's all wood for the most part. There is glass in the windows themselves.
And they open.
and they open and shut.
Because I play with them all the time. I'm not supposed to. I put little lights in it too, because it drove me crazy. It's dark.
And it's got a Victorian paint scheme.
Oh, okay. Now, what about your music box here?
Well, this is made by
More light.
Regina. They were only manufactured for 3 years. This was manufactured in 1898. And at the time when they were sold for $175, and you got 12 discs with them. This is a mahogany case. This one was restored by a guy in, I think, Cherry Hill, if I'm not mistaken. The discs are in here. They store them. There's about 20 discs right now. And these were made for arcades, private homes, and hotels. And if they were made for an arcade or a hotel, there's usually a slot here for a coin. But since there's no slot in this one, this was made for a private house. So how it works is you crank this up, open this up, hit the lever. The case amplifies the music, so that it doesn't need anything else to make it loud.
That's magical. I feel like I could sit and listen to this all night, but I know that there's a lot of other stuff we want to share with all our participants. So let's walk nicely. I want to make sure everyone sees this amazing.
Oh, gosh.
Curt made that.
Yeah, I made them out of Paris craft for plaster.
So cute.
Because I'd seen German ones and I always wanted one, but they're too expensive. So I just figured I can make one.
Amazing. Okay. We'll keep going here. Great. And this is your dining room?
Yeah, the house had
Beautiful.
they had this as their family room, and the wall was all gone, and there was a staircase behind it upstairs. So I just put the wall back in,
Wow.
took the drop ceiling out and all the paneling out.
It's beautiful.
So we have a lot of classical stuff in here. We have some more, Gothic, Philadelphia Gothic chairs. The table, I'm not sure where it's from, but I mean, it is a classical table.
Yeah.
It's a nice round one that you can open up, has a lot of leaves, which is great. So, I just buy things at auction. It's really the best way to go. But if you can find a good, reliable dealer, that's good too.
And I know we've already gotten a lot of interest in your
sure.
sideboard.
Troy, would you grab that book that's in there, that big, huge book? So this sideboard is for sure absolutely made by, who's it? Maybe I forget. It's terrible. Oh, Bouvier, Michel Bouvier.
It's French, right?
Michel
Yeah.
Bouvier, which is, everybody knows, is Jacqueline Kennedy's, great grandfather, and he owned a wood supply house, like a lumber yard, but pretty fancy. So he supplied lumber to all kinds of cabinet makers, like Anthony Carvel and such. And it's interesting because most Philadelphia furniture doesn't have this type of form in here, the satin type of curves, like this for wine drawers and for other implements. So that's unusual. There are a lot of unusual woods on this. The back of the cabinets are cedrela. Oh boy, there's too much stuff in that one. Too much stuff.
Yeah.
Paris porcelain. But the back of it is all cedrela, which is a type of cedar from the Caribbean.
Wow.
So it has a lot of fire to it. I'm not sure if these knobs are original and such, but the label is underneath here on the silver drawer. I did put this top on. It probably had a really fancy veneered top, maybe with a gallery at the back, but it was gone. This is just one big piece of Cuban mahogany. So I put this marble on here just to kind of lighten the whole thing up. If you want to see the label, I don't know if you remember that book I showed you at the beginning, this big Philadelphia Empire book. For some reason, it was at an auction house over at Pook and Pook, and they photographed it in the label, which is underneath
Great.
on the tulip poplar.
Huh.
Other woods in here are birch.
Uh-huh.
It's really bizarre. It's heavy as anything because obviously, Michel Bouvier could have whatever woods he wanted because he owned the lumber yard and could throw whatever he needed to into the piece just to put it together.
Yeah.
Whether he made it or his shop, it's probably just his shop made it. And there's only about maybe 8 or 10 pieces signed by him.
Right.
And this, I got an antique wall up in Lambertville.
Amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, pretty crazy. You can still find things, everything's out there. This is a really nice Archer and Warner or Cornelia chandelier. And a woman in Jersey, Diane Upton Hagen, she restores all kinds of period lighting. So if you get something that's really nice, she and her friend Dan Matausch can restore it for you.
Wow.
Takes a while, but they can do it. Troy found this on eBay,
Wow.
so you never know what's going to show up on eBay. And it was in horrible condition. And we got it on a bus, came on the bus, on the Greyhound bus, in like a bag. We went and picked it up. So the shades are reproduction. So, but they're pretty nice.
Amazing.
So I'm trying to think what else. There's a nice painting here, a Philadelphia painting.
Yeah. He's a pretty famous figure, right?
He is. He's a banker, and he went on to become establish like the Pennsylvania Farm Show and all those type of programs up in Harrisburg. He moved to Westchester, became a real fancy gentleman farmer. But Daniel Hinman was from Connecticut, but came here with his wife, and they got. I didn't know that people got married on Christmas Eve. Did you know that? And because forever I was like, why is this piece of paper here? Say December 24, 1834, until I was watching a movie. Were we watching a movie or something? And people were getting married. I was like, oh, that's it. People got married on Christmas Eve. And so I guess this is his wife.
Wow. Beautiful.
So if you're a collector, go on eBay and look for these kind of old Kennedy quarterlies. They're like $5. And probably some of your pictures, if they have a Kennedy label in the back, you can find it on eBay. Likewise, it's in here as well at Sotheby's. eBay is like a great research tool. Sounds weird, but it really is, because somebody out there has these catalogs for sale for nothing too. So yeah, this is a follower of Thomas Sully, but it's Manuel de Franca.
Wow.
So
cool.
yeah, he did a lot of Philly stuff. Then he moved out west. Yeah.
Can we see your mixing table?
Yeah, right over here.
Okay, great. Okay, let's open it.
I guess you're looking at the wallpaper. Troy likes to buy, what's that brand you like?
Bradbury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He buys all this Bradbury and Bradbury paper, does the ceiling and everything too.
And here we are.
So this is a mixing table. You usually find these down in the South.
Yeah.
You always see them. If you go to any big house in the South, in Savannah, in New Orleans, they always have a mixing table. So that means they have a marble top, because if you're mixing punch or something on the top, the marble protects the wood. And they almost always have a slide or a drawer here. This one doesn't. And they have a nice locked cabinet for the liquor, for the ingredients to make the punch or whatever's on top. So
Nice.
this has two nice shelves here for punch cups.
Oh,
And this is recessed here to put some liquor bottles, and it's locked here on the side.
wow.
When I bought it, it didn't have the glass, so I put the glass in.
Mhm.
And I put the marble on top too. It came out of this house
Oh, wow.
in Botetourt County, Virginia.
Huh.
It was called Gray Ledge. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's a private home. It's huge. So it's good to just research everything you have. I've been looking for this one for a long time because I wanted to have something that was classical, but that had a little bit of Gothic in it, which was nice. And so this has really nice carving. I have no idea who did it, but it's got a lot of carving.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. Got a nice mellow finish. I did clean it all up though. It was black when I bought it. I got it out of Jeffrey Evans. He's got a lot of great stuff down there in Virginia. He's a good auction house.
Amazing.
And if you buy anything from them, they ship things beautifully. I had this picked up. I'm just saying, if you buy glass from them, you can't believe how beautifully it is packed. So yeah, that's about it.
Amazing.
Got some painted furniture, matching Mercami upstairs.
Wow. Where are the chairs from?
The chairs are from a set of 5. They're Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and I have the Mercami that matches them
Wow.
upstairs.
Awesome. Well, let's head upstairs.
Yeah, we can take a look at that bedroom suite.
I'm going to try to move as slowly as I can.
Okay.
So.
You taking the dogs up there?
Hi, pups. All right. Let's head up there.
Up the front?
Yeah, go ahead.
Crazy curved staircase here.
Woo! All
Yay.
right, here we are. Oh yeah, it's amazing.
So this is a Herter Brothers bedroom suite. It's just the bed and a dressing table behind you. And it has a Philadelphia provenance. It was in Philadelphia for a long time until it got sold to a dealer down in New Orleans.
Wow.
And so I bought it from him. It was in storage for a long time. So I had to go
Pick it up.
out to someone's warehouse, furniture warehouse, and take a look at it. It was a cabinet maker's shop. It was just, but it needed a lot of work. So we got everything fixed at a company called Rooting and Wood out in,
Bradley Beach.
yeah, I guess Bradley Beach.
Bradley Beach.
But what's the town that's known, that's famous there?
Ocean Grove.
Ocean Grove. Ocean Grove is a nice Victorian town out there in Jersey, right at the beach. And everybody takes all their Victorian junk to them. And they do a great job, and they're really quick too.
Mm.
So here's some more Philadelphia lighting.
What motivated you to collect Philadelphia lighting?
You know, I guess because once I realized that these are all labeled, if you sort of take the weights off of them and kind of check them out, then you can figure out that they're made in Philadelphia compared to being made in England.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. This probably has a lot of English parts, but
How do you know which parts you?
well, the English parts are really good. They're high quality, whereas the Philadelphia parts are like they're blank on the back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously it's cast in sand or you know, or some basic method like that. And when you see like a Philadelphia one of these, this is all conflated and flat. You know, so this is probably an English piece, Cornelius piece. You know,
Wow. Lovely.
but this is a cool fireplace.
Yeah.
It's cast iron. It's all metal. It's kind of weird.
Wow.
And I just found that King of Prussia hearth. Threw it on that. I wrote an article on King of Prussia marble, so I like it a lot. So anytime I can find it and throw it on something, I'm like, okay, let's use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is very strange with like this glass and these flowers. They're very weird, but they're made in New England and they're marked on the back.
Hmm.
So,
See if I get a good shot at that.
and it's not even really a fireplace. It's a heat source. It's just a heat vent.
Yeah.
Because this house had gravity. It's had gravity fed air.
Huh.
You know, so basically the two coal furnaces in the basement just sent up warm air. And then this is the matching dresser with the candle stands. Probably like 1870, late 1860s. I mean, I've looked through the Herter book, but it's really tough to sign dates.
How long did it take you to find the Herter Brothers Bed Set?
I mean, I just had to keep asking around. And almost everything, if you want something really, you know, elaborate or unusual, you got to go to New Orleans. All this stuff is in New Orleans. Even though it's from Philadelphia or made in Philadelphia, it's all in New Orleans. So it's a great place it's a good clearinghouse between those two auction houses down there and the dealers down there. So, you know, like that little table, it's a classical table over here next to the bed. That also came from New Orleans, from Jeff Whitty. And it's got a great base with the two anthemias back to back. I mean, that's really beautiful,
That's great.
you know.
Amazing.
So you just gotta keep talking to people and tell people what you want. My friend John Tompkins lives down there. When he sees stuff I want, he lets me know. My friend J. Robert Stiefel, even though he doesn't collect classic or anything like it, and whenever he sees a painting or something, like this week, he sent me a picture of a painting that's coming up for sale. He's like, I know you want this. I know you like this. So it's nice to have friends and you know, especially through Decorative Arts Trust, you can meet people. In fact, that's how I became a member of the Decorative Arts Trust, is through my friend Jay Stiefel. He said, you gotta join that and talk to people there. I was like, that's a great idea. I never thought about doing that. So yeah, it's good.
Yeah, we certainly love connecting people, especially.
That's a
when
nice
that's
chair over there. That's a nice,
Yeah, it's amazing.
it's a gentleman's chair. I've seen one in maple, and this is maple too. And Robert Trent restored it and did all the upholstery on it in this wool. And it had an arm
Wow.
for reading. So it was obviously a learned person, probably a preacher, or, you know.
Yeah.
And my friend Jeff found this down the street in the trash.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
In Fishtown.
Yep, in Fishtown here.
Wow.
Used to be good stuff here, I guess. You know, so people started just throwing it away.
Yeah.
So how are we doing on time? We got time to go
Great.
to the
Yeah,
library?
let's go. Let's head in there. We've got
Okay.
about 10
I'm
more
gonna
minutes.
grab this glass.
Of course.
You have 10 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing good then.
Great. Show this guy.
You gonna be all right here? You got a staff?
This mountain lion is painted from real life, right? I'm just sharing.
Yeah, well, it could be. It's Patricia Traub. She paints at PAFA.
Yeah.
She teaches live animal drawing. Knowing her, she probably did. You
Uh-huh.
know. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Just had to share.
She's a really great Philadelphia professor and painter.
I know we're here for the decorative arts, but
Well, it's decorative arts, right? Isn't it? Or you mean the furniture?
can't resist. Yeah. Love it. Hi guys.
Going over the front. This is supposed to be the master bedroom.
Uh-huh. Wow.
This is supposed to be the master bedroom,
Yeah.
but it's just so big.
Yeah.
So it's better as like a family room or a library. So I know it's creepy with the dead animal on the head.
Where did that come from?
I got it down in Savannah. I went to Savannah College of Art and Design for my master's degree in historic preservation in 2000. So that's when I found him in like an antique wall.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't kill him. But my one dog would growl at him like, "Grrr." These guys could care less. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And
But,
what about all this? I'm gonna turn it around so you can see behind me. It's an amazing collection here.
So this is Troy's toy collection.
Wow.
His antique toys, a few repros, but most of them are antique. Anything you want to point out? I love the French toys.
Yeah, these are French.
I love
They're
them.
all
The
key
elephant.
wound.
Show them the elephant. It's so cute.
I think these were made around 1900. It's just vibrating and just still in working condition.
That's amazing.
It's got mohair on it.
A lot of these toys are all from Germany.
Yeah.
You know,
A lot of these are
Some are
definitely
American.
German. Yeah, there's a few American. The dolls are all German. The
Yeah.
carousel's a repro of a Marklin, which I couldn't afford the real thing, but I got that. But I just pick them up here and there. This is a hill climber. I had this restored by a museum restoration guy.
what does that mean in a hill climber?
Like you would push it back and then it would go forward to climb.
Wow.
But yeah, that's my favorite right there.
The hill
With the
climber.
kid on the sleigh.
No, the boat.
Oh, let's have a
I
look.
knew that.
But Michael, I can't remember his name. He was in Atlantic Highlands, New Jersey. He restores all kinds of toys for museums.
Wow.
And he did a couple of Forbes toys for his collection as well.
Wow. It's great.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I would love to share this Gothic chair.
Oh, the chair, right.
It's Rosewood? No.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Let's see if I can put the light on it. Here, I'll sit in the reproduction
Okay.
chair,
Amazing.
which some of my antiques friends, they love it because like, oh my God, my mom had that whole set from the 1950s. But this is an 1850s or maybe 1860s Rosewood chair made in probably New York. Well, made in New York. And my friend Robert Trent, says this is an exact copy of a French chair. So much so that he said, you know what, you really ought to get wood analysis done. There's a man in Virginia who does wood analysis. You send him a chunk of wood and check for $40, and he mails it back to you and tells you what it is.
Wow.
And you really should get that done if you have things that are questionable.
Yeah.
So this came back as having American walnut secondary woods. So, I mean, unless somebody took American walnut to France and then had a rosewood chair carved, it's kind of weird.
Wow.
But I bought it at an auction in Philadelphia, and I was shilled at the auction, meaning the person who was selling the chair was in the audience bidding against me. And she didn't know. She was this old woman. And, you know, she's like, oh, I was trying to sell something else at this auction. It didn't go for a lot. I said, whatever. I'll take it for whatever, you know, I paid for it. But it was good that I met her because she told me this came out of a really fancy villa in Astoria, New York, where all the fancy villas were in New York at that time.
Wow.
And she told me what the upholstery was like. And remember, there was needlepoint and had the name of the man on it, you know, his nickname on it. So I did have, I think, the finials redone.
Wow.
But Barry Barlow did the seat, and then Robert Trent put the wool on it. It has the original foundation, you know, the original hair, as a horse hair is in it.
Was this passed over by a museum?
Oh yeah. Robert offered it to a very major museum, and it was kind of funny because the curator said, "Well, you know what? We'll definitely take it if you have a pair of them. If you have two," and he's like, "What? I'm offering you the best American Gothic chair that I've ever seen. You know, probably made by a Charles Baudouin in New York." And he said, "But you need a pair. Like, all right, what are you? Are you a decorator or are you a curator? What's going on here?" So whatever. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we kept it. I'm glad we have it.
Yeah.
You know, glad we didn't sell it in the end. You know.
It's amazing to have such incredible objects in your home and in your collection.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for letting us share that.
Sure.
We have a few questions, and if anybody else has questions, go ahead and ask them
I forget there's people at home because they're so quiet.
in the chat box here. But Dennis C. McGlee wants to ask if the lights above the sideboard
Mhm.
are gas lights.
They were.
They were.
They were converted.
Yeah, so
Wow.
they were gas, they were converted, but they're not that old. They're like 1900.
How can you tell that they were gas lights?
They had the jets on them that were fixed
Oh, okay.
originally.
Nice.
Supposedly.
That's what the electric is running through. The jet, where the old gas line would go through into it.
Okay.
What is a dream object that you're looking forward to add to your collection?
It was that mixing table for a long time, seriously. So that was my dream object, but I can't think of what's next really. I mean, you know, I don't know.
Did you bid on something today?
Oh yeah, I'm always bidding on artwork and paintings because I remember always hearing about Lee Anderson because he was a big collector of Gothic furniture. Not that, you know, trying to collect that, but the point was that he was a school teacher. He didn't have a big salary, and he always just bought artwork and paintings. And since I have an art training from University of Delaware, art history, you know, I know a little bit about art. So I'm always just buying artwork to either sell it or to keep it. You know, so I'm always buying artwork or paintings. So yeah, I bought 2 paintings today.
And
Small little things.
And I feel like you've given a lot of advice, but what's some of your biggest advice for people who are looking to start collecting?
All these books here on the wall.
Yeah.
There are no novels, or they're almost all decorative arts books.
Yeah, it's pretty
You
impressive.
know, I mean, I spent like $500 buying a part of a curator who passed away's book collection. All of her books are here too. She was a curator at Winter Tour. So I'm just saying, it's worth spending the money on decorative arts books because you can't find that information always online. It's just not there. You need to really, and a lot of the writing and research is from a long time ago, and you know, 20, 50 years ago. So you need that. Now, maybe it's not the most updated, but it's really valuable and worthwhile, especially those pictures. So buy books and read them.
Yeah.
You know, because the more you know that you know, if you're shopping at the lower end level that I am, you know, especially for classical, you need to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
By reading and talking to people and having friends in the field. You know, like joining the Decorative Arts Trust, you'll meet people, you know, who can help you out, who know things.
It's
really great.
What started your collecting?
I think because I knew my friend Mac Truax and his partner Bob, and just they would be collecting. So like, oh, I like collecting stuff too, and they helped me get some focus. So it's good to know people to help you get some focus.
Where were the first places you went to look for objects?
We just usually around Pennsylvania, Lancaster,
Yeah.
you know, up at Black Angus, you know, things like that, Lambertville. So anyway, Pennsylvania is a great place. I mean, I never want to move south of like North Carolina because there's no shopping below there, or west of like Ohio, because there's not much out there, you know, unless you get to New Orleans. New Orleans is great, but other than that, it's pretty rough anywhere out west. And the prices get higher too anyway. So, you know, the best place is New England, actually. So.
And what were the first objects you started to collect?
Probably the furniture. Like I told you, the desk was the first thing I ever bought, piece of furniture wise. And then not really small. I just started collecting furniture. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so
Lately, I've been collecting more glass, trying to collect Philadelphia glass, like Philadelphia Union glass.
Yeah.
You know, but that's really hard to find. So you really got to
much.
know people.
And what attracted you to writing about King of Prussia marble?
Oh, you know, because my friend Robert Trent like strong-armed me into doing it. So, I mean, I had some experience with it in finding it and having it made into marble tops for collectors, and for like dealers like Lee Keno. Lee Keno called me and somehow he thought I could make a marble top for a tea table.
Yeah.
And I said, okay. And just went out and found some marble. I had a friend of mine carve it, took it up there. He sold this table at the antique show for a lot of money. You know.
Wow.
So it just started, and then collectors started buying it as well. And so I didn't know a lot about it. And so then I wrote the article for American Furniture, Chipstone's American Furniture. It was a lot of work, but it was really fun to do.
What's something we should all know about King of Prussia marble?
Did you know that is a very soft limestone? It really is limestone. It's just slightly more solidified by heat than normal limestone. So it's very soft. So be very gentle with it. You know, it chips easily and can stain.
Is there any way you can identify King of Prussia marble?
Usually by sight
Yeah.
and by like the color, but also by like how when you chip it, by seeing like the kind of the stone structure a little bit in it. Because there's other pieces that look like it around Philadelphia that they've used for reproductions in the 70s on some of the buildings, and it's not the same when you realize how hard it is. It's like granite, or it's some type of stone from Georgia. Yeah.
If you had to write another article for Chipstone, what would you write on?
I would love to write one about the mixing tables, because there's no article on mixing tables, and there's so many of them out there, and they're kind of interesting, but they all have similarities.
Yeah.
So it'd be a really easy and fun article to do, I think.
Yeah.
And plus, you get to travel all down south, go to these great houses, and look at the examples.
Yeah.
You know.
Can you tell us more about Troy's skills, particularly as your textiles?
I know. Well, he does all. Like I said, he did all the curtains downstairs. He did these up here as well.
A better shot of those for you, Troy. What's your textile process like?
It's all layering.
Yeah. Oh, they're beautiful.
I couldn't have someone custom make them, so I said I could make them myself. Like the ones in the dining room, I did all them myself. I would go out, get the trims and the fabrics, and make the hard balances, and then hang them. I had an interior design business years ago, so I was able to make them myself as opposed to use a workroom and have someone make them for me.
A lot of these are just stock items you buy online, and then you just sew trim and such to them.
Wow. And
the balances, they're all with foam core.
Yeah, downstairs in the dining
Glued
room.
up. I mean, really pretty amazing.
The dining room were most elaborate ones next to the ones in the living room.
And you mentioned a few wallpaper reproduction companies.
It's one. It's Bradbury and Bradbury, and based out
Bradbury.
of California. All
Yeah.
the wallpapers are made by hand.
Wow.
I did a little bit at a time for what I could afford because it's
Yeah.
expensive wallpaper.
Right. Plus, he's really good at like cutting it up. Like on the ceiling here, instead of buying like a red border of paper, you just paint the border red. You just paint the border blue, and you just use a small strip in between, so you can kind of stretch things
I
out.
would pull the colors out of the wallpaper and have it matched up.
Hmm.
It saved me money
Yeah.
for a lot of it.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to know about the wallpaper in the bedroom. Is it William and Morris design?
I don't think
Yes,
so. It is,
It's Bradbury and Bradbury manufactures it.
Ah,
but it was designed by William Morris.
It's William Morris design.
Oh, it is with the little lion
Yeah.
and the tiger.
Mhm.
Okay,
Aesthetic movement.
okay. But they sell it as like the Herter Brothers. paper.
It's known as Herter Brothers.
When you go to the Bradbury
Go to the
website.
Bradbury and Bradbury website.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't remember. See, that's me. I didn't even know that was Morris design. They don't give any credit to them.
No.
And someone asks, is there anything that you and Troy cannot do? That's Ann and Jen.
Plumbing,
Plumbing.
plumbing and concrete.
Concrete. Were those the hardest aspects of converting this house, or?
Because I had to pay somebody.
Mhm.
Get the money to pay somebody to do
We
the
strip
plumbing work.
wallpaper, woodwork, refinish it.
Yeah, the painting. I installed these cabinets are all
Wow.
salvaged from a hosiery shop up the street that was abandoned and then eventually burnt down to the ground.
Where did you get the finials?
Oh, yeah, at a flea market.
Wow.
I know they're from a church probably.
Pretty cool.
We're very hands-on with everything in the house.
Yeah. You just do everything yourself,
Yeah.
and then eventually you fix it if you don't think it looks great, or, just like with the furniture, you buy something and if it's no good, then you sell it and get something a little bit better and keep trying to trade up if you can. So.
Yeah. Troy, do you have a favorite object in the collection?
My
In
music
your
box.
collection? Your music box?
Yes,
Which one is that?
downstairs.
Your music
living
box
room.
downstairs.
The Melodeon
Yeah,
thing.
The Melodeon.
Yes.
And it has Christmas.
It has 2 discs. They're hard to find because of the size. I have Come Will You Faithful and Silent Night. I'm trying to find an old Christmas tree.
So if anyone out there has Oh Christmas Tree,
In
Be
20
sure-
inch.
be
Or
sure
Jingle
to let us
Bells in
know.
20 inch.
Or Jingle Bells. That's amazing.
Right, buddy?
Well, we're pretty lucky because soon you're going to be putting up your Christmas decorations, right?
Oh my gosh.
And getting ready for that whole process,
Yeah.
which
There is so much Christmas in this house. There's a tree in
But
here.
it's all tastefully done. It's
Oh,
of course.
right.
it's a Victorian. We have a 10-foot tree in the living room and a 9-foot tree up here.
Oh,
But
sounds-
they're all done in German glass ornaments that are all antique.
Wow. That sounds totally amazing.
Yes, we'll send you a picture.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that. And you both have been so generous. Oh, second tour for Christmas. We have a question for that.
Sure, that'd be great. You should see it at Christmas. It is pretty. I don't do any of it. It is amazing.
Yeah.
At first I was like, oh my God. I mean, it's overwhelming. It
Aw.
truly is. Because he decorates houses
Professionally.
for Christmas.
Yeah.
So only inside. So,
But yeah, you can come.
You both have been so generous with your time with sharing your house and your incredible collection. I can speak for, I'm sure, everyone here and saying I am so jealous
Oh
of
gosh.
you, both of your prowess in finding all of these amazing things and just having this incredible space. So thank you everyone for joining
Yeah.
us. I
Hey,
hope
thank you,
have
guys.
A nice Saturday and look forward to more programs. We have all of our virtual programs listed on our website. If you want to support Decorative Arts Scholarship and help make beautiful libraries like this, please donate to the trust so that we can support emerging scholars. And thank you so much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.